When was the moment that you realized everything was fake? Nothing was real in that relationship, in that friendship. And now you sit and you feel like you're facing embarrassment, disappointment, you're hurt, you feel extremely betrayed. Well, you're in the right place. We all have gone through this same experience, and this is the side effects of encountering a narcissist. And in this video, I'm going to break down why the narcissist does what he or she does, and when you realize everything's fake and what happens after that. So if this is something that you guys are interested in watching and learning, then keep watching. So you feel at this point that the relationship was fake, you realize that it was fake, and you feel like you've lost so much time. Well, I mean, we have. When you get in a relationship with a narcissist, their whole point of being with you is to waste your time. They don't want you to have valuable time with them. They don't want to make your life experience better. They actually, in fact, want to do the opposite and make your life experience worse. And you sit back and you think, well, I'm a good person, and all of this happened to me because I trusted someone and they basically stole everything from me. They stole my money, my time, my resources. I mean, this is how they come. And it's so crazy because they blindside us by starting off love bombing us, giving us everything that we want by really being very attentive in those first couple weeks to months to learn everything about us, everything that we want. And then they start slowly but surely presenting that to us. And the relationship moves really fast. And you feel like, wow, everything is moving so fast, but it feels so good. But in the bottom of your stomach, you're like, whoa, this is too much. Like, slow down. But also you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it's finally my time. This is a dream come true. Yeah, that's the narcissist. Then it's crazy because they all present very similar. They all do the very same thing. So you're wondering, how did this happen and why did this happen? Well, basically what happened and how it happened and why it happened is you've basically gotten a relationship with, gotten a friendship with an unwell person. Someone that actually needs help, but because they have such an aggrandized sense of self and they feel like they're superior to everyone else and they feel like they're better than everyone else, they'll never listen to your advice of, hey, maybe you should get some help. Or even if they did get help, they would never listen to the advice of someone that could actually help them because they feel like that person's beneath them, and why would they change who they are? They absolutely love who they are on the outside. So no, they will never get well because they don't feel like they need help, unfortunately. There are a few select people that actually are working on themselves and actually are aware of how they're impacting others. And that is a great thing. And I encourage more people to do that. But for the most part, a lot of people are not going to take that move and actually make that step. So you do want to know, like, did they actually love you in the relationship? Were they in love? At times they did feel love for you and express it, but that was always fleeting. They can never hold on to that feeling. With their emotions, they don't really have a range of emotions, so they like to get that from their prey, i.e. you or me, and they like to feel through us. So yes, they did have that feeling of love through you because they saw love in you. But again, it was fleeting. It was never real because overall they love themselves ultimately. And so in their eyes, in the beginning, this was actually a great fairy tale. So when they picked you out, they're like, wow, this person is going to come into my life and they're going to fix everything. They're amazing. They're wonderful. They picked you out, but they also picked you out because they noticed some flaws, quote unquote flaws in you, that, i.e. being a good person, being overextending yourself, not having boundaries. And they saw, oh, this will be an easy target that I can get all these things I desire from this person really easily. Now, some of their targets might be harder than others, but they did identify some flaw in you, and they are going to capitalize on that flaw, quote unquote flaw, that they've identified. But what ends up happening is that they end up getting bored in the relationship. Maybe their needs are no longer being met, or that fairy tale that they had in the beginning is no longer occurring. And they start to realize that, they start to actually see more of your flaws that don't help them. And they start picking at these flaws. So the flaws in the beginning they actually liked, because they were like, you know what, this person seems great, but there is something about them I can manipulate. But then once they start to manipulate you, and they actually start seeing that, they're like, whoa, this person is very manipulative, they're very insecure, they're very this, or they're very that, and they'll start throwing that out at you at the devaluing stage. So the very thing that they actually liked about you, that they could control you, they could manipulate you, they could get what they wanted from you, they also devalued that, and they wanted you to understand, these are the horrible things about you, and I'm going to let you know what they are. So basically, this narcissist painted you a beautiful picture of a reality that didn't exist. A lot of them like to future fake, meaning they like to give you a false sense of reality of, oh, we will go to Paris together, we will explore the world together, we're going to do this, build businesses, these are the plans I have, this is what I have going on. All of which you realize none of the things existed. And when you started poking and when you started trying to get to the bottom of it, like, hey, when are we going to do this and this, they start getting more and more upset and mad, and that mask starts falling off, and that kind, nice person that they presented themselves to be is no longer there. They're gone. And that's when you realized what just happened. And either they discard you, they get rid of you because they found someone else that could actually fulfill, quote unquote, is better at fulfilling whatever holes in their heart and life that they have, or they make you get rid of them by treating you so poorly that you can't take it anymore and you have to leave. And so once you're out of the relationship, you're basically left extremely confused. That is the main thing a lot of people say when they get out of a narcissistic relationship. I mean, I know I said it. Even in the relationship, there was a lot of confusion. Like, a lot of things just never added up. And especially in the end, I was just really confused. Like, what just happened? Is how I felt. And that is something that you really have to go deep and unpack about what just happened. And I do narcissistic recovery coaching. If you guys want to book a session with me, I can leave all that in the description. But basically, that is the beginning steps to figure out what happened, why did it happen, and like, how did I allow myself to get here, or to even meet somebody that was so evil? Those are all the questions that are probably going through your mind. So basically, the answer for this confusion that you and I did have, or have, is that you were actually in the relationship, devoted to the relationship. You were in it 100%. You gave it your all. And they actually saw you as an easy person to exploit. So they did just that, and they exploited as much as they could from you. And when they really no longer could exploit you, they really didn't have any use for you. So it's the same feeling you get after somebody scams you, or if somebody robs you of your money. It's that same feeling of kind of being violated. And that is actually exactly what happened. So basically, your intentions were extremely pure, but their intentions were very calculated and evil. I remember that the narcissists that I've had in my life, they all would say the same thing. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. And I'm like, wow, okay. They feel like they're 10 steps ahead of me. I never understood the reason why, but then after I got out of the narcissistic relationships and actually like dug deep and like study, learn, I realized that they're right. They were 10 steps ahead because I was being set up. I was being set up. And of course they were 10 steps ahead. It was an unfair setup, an unfair situation. So that is exactly what happens. And again, I am so sorry that you even met this person, and I'm sorry that I met them as well. But basically, again, that fantasy world just started to crumble, and you're left with basically empty dreams. All the hope that you had is deferred, and you realize, whoa, like this person just completely sold me a lie. And I fell for it. Again, back to that scamming, or if someone robbed you, it's the same exact feelings. But basically, this is what happens when you're with a person that needs mental help and therapy. It will cause you to, and it also feel like after you get out of the relationship with them, you feel like, oh my God, I need therapy and a coaching and help. And it's true, you do after you get involved with someone like this. So, getting help to see exactly where you may have fallen for these traps, and also moving forward in your journey to never encounter these people again. And these people, they actually prey on a certain specific type of person. So being able to identify that type of person and how to not be that type of person or not present as that type of person is very important. So some of the reasons could be that you've had a parent that was narcissistic, and because of that you did not have any boundaries, and you weren't able to identify the warning signs, as if somebody that may have not had that experience, maybe had a healthy upbringing, they probably would have identified those warning signs really quick and would have never actually gone and even stepped into that relationship. So yeah, these are the things that happen. And whatever the reason, the situation you were in, it was not fair at all. But you have to move forward in this situation. Keep learning what the heck happened. You're on the right path by being on this channel as well as other channels that do talk about this. But in fact, some people are just less fortunate, like myself. It starts at birth with one of my parents was narcissistic, and that devaluing, belittling, this lack of self-worth, all those things are started at birth. So really it kind of seems like you didn't even have a chance. And it's true, your parents were so unwell that they made sure they damaged you so much that you didn't have a chance. But this is your chance now to start your healing journey. Again, awareness is the biggest step in this, and actually, again, doing the work by going on the internet and figuring out what exactly happened is the best thing. But basically, yeah, these narcissists, they love to get your hopes up, and then they love to watch your reaction, how you're going to react. When you basically realize that none of this was true. None of it was real. None of it was true. They really get a high. They get that narcissistic supply, which is like their drug, when they're able to crush you and to crush your dreams and to crush your hopes. Because, that's just what they do. But anyways, if you guys want more videos like this, let me know in the description below, as well as if you guys want narcissistic recovery coaching. I will leave all the information in the description box, and I'll see you guys next time.